Okay. Hello, like general. That's the wrong difficulty. God forbid I play on normal. That'd be sacrilegious almost. Well, you know, I'm rusty. I didn't play yesterday, so. Bamichi Horror's part of the game? Hold up, I gotta hit this again. There we go. I should really go back to trying that in the middle of runs. Maybe that's why I haven't gotten the LNN yet, because I'm not doing that in the run. I gotta do that to instill confidence. I gotta do the no scope. Got freestyle. He is gonna spin on me. I gotta have freestyle on her. I'm gonna do it at one point in the middle of a run. It's gonna get me killed. I'm gonna refuse to ever do it again. I'm out of it. You know, like I said, I'm still warm. Still warm. You know, just when I'm like potentially getting better at this, the last thing I need to do is throw in a wrench in the mix here. Well, what good is the run without a little bit of freestyling? It's doing wonders to my cap rate. I can't hit anymore. I was hitting it clean and I can't. Really? Unfortunately, there's really not much for cool guy strats on this attack, unless you want to do it in the middle. But that's not really a good idea. As it might turn out. Dude, this attack is so free! Maybe I should start doing the middle to give myself a challenge. I would move to aggressively. This deck is the hardest deck in the game. Almost able to get through that. Shipping gun back left. Do 4 and 5 to 4 and 7. It's ever been more Jover. Go for the 1 in 10,000. Okay, she smited me immediately. One more time, one more time. No, 0.001% or whatever it is. Okay, what I'm learning about Fearless Wind guys, don't do it too many times in a row. You'll run out. You'll run out. There's a pixel somewhere, yeah. There is a pixel somewhere. If you go to the top of the screen, there's a 1 in 10,000 chance of living. Unlucky. If you don't want to have to skill it and just play on luck, just go up there. 1 in 10,000, approximately. So true. Alan, here's what I've learned about Fearless Wind God. Is that the first 5 Fearless Wind Gods of the day are literally free. So I should actually never practice them in the middle of the day. Then you become worse. Oops. That's, oh yeah, I went 4 and 5. It was literally free. And then I didn't cap any 10 straight. Clearly what it is your brain only has so much Fearless Wind God it can do in an entire day. And so you don't want to use it all up immediately. Oh shit, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to look at trying to get my hands on that keyboard. I think actually what I should do is I should get a new keyboard every month. And then if I ever lose, I can just play, well, I'm just getting used to the keyboard. Actually, I don't even have my, keyboard, I don't have, a visual of my keyboard directly on the screen. I could just, pretend each month I'm getting a new keyboard and make that my excuse. Love how many times I die in Touhou because I have the lineup, but I'm not sure so then I move out of the line. Really? Oh, this is not great right now. You bastard. Nice, there we go. What is wrong with me? Again. Me and my way to literally be in the middle of a gap and decide, no, I need to move. Bruh. Okay, I should give up on that right now. Oh, let's go say hi to our dear old friend Minariko. Never mind. We're just cooked for the day. It's gonna be a long one, boys. Listen, we're still in warm-up. First horse fairies? Yeah. Some might say hardest part of the game. Many have said that. Hello, Ryuko. And Ryuko sounds like a little bit of a mouthful, so I'm just saying Ryuko unless I get told otherwise. Also, how dare you post a slash and then a 0 for someone waving? How dare? This is Twitch. Around these parts, you have to post an anime girl waving or something. Was that? I said Ryuko, and I was like, I don't know if that's how to say your name, but saying on Ryuko or an Ryuko sounds like a little bit of a mouthful almost. So I just said Ryuko. But I'm not necessarily sure how the collection of those letters is supposed to come together. Also, I missed it at first. Don't think I don't see that clown butt though, General. That's so weird. I don't know, you can post anything, okay? I've seen people post anything and everything. Also, I'm not actually like an emoji user myself, so I don't really care. I just, yeah, it's one of those. It's one of these days. Perfect day to freestyle on Hina. But best emo. I will not say it's the best emo. I will say it is a pretty good emo, but it's definitely not the best. My three personal favorites are probably the Shitori, the Satori 3, and the Cat Hump. It's that, yeah, that Tenchi one is pretty good. I will say that one is really grown on me. I really like that one. Actually, the actually emote as well. That one is also, that was probably number 4. That one's right there. I love that. The Juko eye laser is pretty good, but I'm not gonna say that's top tier. Yeah, that actually is really good. The Sonano car is not what I would consider a good emo. I hate that thing. That thing is vile. Curse. It is a funny one, but it's such a cursed emo. I keep trying to hug the left wall on the start of stage, on the start of stage 2, and I gotta remember, stage 2 you don't actually want to hug the wall, you want to be just inside. Stage 3 you hug the wall. Whoa, we can't be paragraph posting right now. It's a lot of words to read. Especially when there's bullets on my screen. I jest. Yeah, I mean, I didn't ask, but I kind of, like, you know... I kind of asked. So it's not like it's completely out of nowhere. You know, there are many times I see people's names, I'm like, I want to ask them how to pronounce the name, but I also kind of like don't want to like just straight up say it. You know, so you know, I try to like weasel around it. I gotta pee. Oh, Rinko. I'll either do that, or if I don't think, or I'll say Rinko, and if I forget, then I'll just say Ryuko, because that's like what when I look at your name, that's what my brain wants to say. Let's watch the trade say. We either beat them today or we wipe today, probably. Game Glitcher, what would you say is the best emote that I currently have here? Or specifically your favorite of the emotes? And this is the entire emotes, right? I'm not talking like the ones directly on my channel, like Spooter made, although I think there's some bangers there. I'm just talking like abroad of all the emotes I have on this channel. Okay, never fucking mind then. Go fuck. I guess I should go fuck myself. I forgot Bro's on fucking mobile and it doesn't have extensions. Except for E4 Fight. Yeah, there's a bunch of post-game. You know, normal Pokemon doesn't have post-game necessarily, usually, but at least, like, older Pokemon. But Puppet Dance sure does have a lot of post-game. So, I'll keep going to see if I can post-game. I'm moving on to, what is it called? Fantasy Maiden Wars whenever I lose this run regardless. Or I go the whole distance, so. Best emo. I would disagree, but I'm not going to say it's bad. It's just to wipe. If I get to Maribel, that'd be pretty cool regardless. I wipe because I try to set up sweep, but her freaking catastrophe attack inflicts paralysis and like blind on my spread attacking sweeper, and then I just wipe. You know what they say about wiping? Born to shit, forced to wipe. One of the many, many laws of the world. Human. What's your favorite Touhou? You mean Touhou character or Touhou game? I guess Touhou character would make sense. Context of whatever's going on. Won't do me like that. Game. I wouldn't say 10's... No, 10's not my favorite. I usually say 3. Phantasmagoria Potential Dream is my favorite, but... I'm not really, like... I didn't pick up the big faith! I'm not super, like, concrete on, like, which game is my favorite, per se. I usually say 3, it's the easy answer, and it's probably kind of true. The other answer I'll give is Touhou 7, PCB, for Cherry Blossom, but... it's kind of not, like...
Boruto, sure.
I mean, the good news about Boruto is, previously I was able to just set up sweep with Meira, but who knows if I could do that again with this Meira. He's be the most sensual.
That is not... I love PCB. It's not a statement I ever expected to read. The thing is with the different Touhou games is like, I've said this before, they generally all have charm in their own way. And like generally when people say they like, oh, this one's their favorite, I like understand where they're coming from with so many of the different games. Like the reason I say Touhou 3 is my favorite is because casually it's my favorite. It's my favorite Touhou game to just like not like try to LNN grind with. Like, it's my favorite just to load up and just play for the sake of just having fun on runs. Like, obviously you're trying to win, of course, but, like... But, you know, it's also sometimes mood-dependent. Like, I love Mountain Faith. I usually put it, like, top 3. Or top 5 at the bare minimum. You know, but like my feeling has like shifted a little bit because since I've played this game, like simply just doing an LNN grind in it has made me more annoyed in this game than I would have been otherwise, but that's a give and take. Okay, I was gonna hold it. I really gotta pee. But that's it. I mean, people don't touch the first 5 a ton. Like, they've definitely become a little bit more popular as of late, but... Like, there's nothing wrong with whatever games people prefer to play.
If you don't like the games exactly how I do, there's something wrong with you.
It's the attitude we need to have.
Oh, let me, I gotta turn the temperature up.
It is, Dude, like a week ago, it's fucking like 70+ degrees Fahrenheit. You know, I'm an American. Oh, and like sun out. It's like great weather right now. It's like 40s and rain, cold ass rain. There's actually a place like half hour from here that got some snow last night. I also always say this. I love Pod, but it is a game I would not recommend to most people. I think the reason why Pod appeals to me is, unique to me. And like, there's other people that I think could get that appeal, but I think me LNNing is one of the big like other games is one of the reasons why Pods stands out to me. It's the worst game. Hey, I like Violet Detector. I don't rank that game very highly in the grand scheme of things, but like even if you combine all the shmups and stuff, you filthy rat, I would definitely not put it bottom 5. The Masochist? I don't think that has anything to do with Violet Detector. I don't think Violet Detector is a very masochistic grindy game. I just like it because it's similar to a photo game, but it doesn't have the fucking cameras. So it's like 10 times fucking better. It's only like 5 times better because the teleport mechanic is a bit janky, but anything's fucking better than cameras. Holy shit. That likes pod. No, the masochist part of me is the part that grinds LNNs. Okay, the pod is the non-masochistic part of me. The part of me that enjoys like almost more casual fun. Not that there isn't like a masochistic part of me that likes pod, but like pod is the break from the true masochism. Until I start LNN grinding that game. Yeah. That was really bad. You know, I might as well do PS1 God 1 here. I was very not active on that wave of Stormbank. Criminal item. That sounds like almost like arguably potentially more masochistic to a sense than like an LNN grind. I don't think it's quite as much, but it's a different type of thing. Refers to all gold medals. Now that is a very masochistic type of grind. Although I think Great Fairy Wars as a whole kind of is to some degree. Not necessarily in terms of its raw hard scale, but just kind of in like how it is. It's task only. It's task only if you're like not like a god. Just get good. Okay? Just make those 1-frame reads. What are you, coward?
Oh, there's too many bullets. I can't do it. Oh my goodness.
Real people say, "No, I'd live." Yeah, but all gold medals isn't having you do the stage portions freezeless. That's a big if you had to do all the stage portions as well as the boss attacks, then I would I'd agree totally more. But the one thing about all gold medals is you're not doing all the stage portions freezeless. You have to give metal? I mean, I assume it's just spell cards. I doubt it's even nons. I assume it's just spells. It's been a while since I played, so I don't remember exactly how the medals get given out, but... I digress. Oops, that was too much to the right. It's Jover, bro. Sorry, it's kinda Cover. Director only shoot down? What do you mean only shoot down? Honestly, if I were to say anything, if I were to say anything to any of the spin-off games to make me a real one, that I'd be most likely to do, it's like go unlock like if I was a real one, unlock everything in 100 Black Market. Realistically, of like grinds like that, I feel like that's like the most likely thing to do. So I'm also one of like the only like 3 people who actually like is fine with Black Market and thinks it's the you filthy rat and thinks it's the only game that does like cards like well, fairly well. Black Market's got a lot of PP. So does your wife. I like TD. I don't like the trance mechanic at all. And I wish to, but like I don't really like most of the special mechanics in games. I do really like TD, generally speaking. I do not like trance, but I still... So that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm interested to like do an LNN grind that game, because playing without trance does sound interesting to me. DDC I have a love-hate relationship with. It's definitely not my least favorite, but it might be my most like mixed feeling game on the market. And yes, I hate Sage's bullshit. Also, I don't know how it is on the lower difficulties for sure, but at the very least on Lunatic, Sage's spells are like brutal. Game. I mean, that's not like that's a little debatable. I feel a little bit. She kind of is a bit of a problem child, though. I don't know how she is on the other difficulties as well. So. It's okay. Oh, what, you want me to bitch about being a purist? BRB! Oh my gosh, what a coward. Just leaving. I do not care for Sage's reverse pattern attacks. Let me just flip the Sage. Whee! This is so cool. Well, that's also kind of why I don't like Oku Final. I do not care for Sub Sun. I also don't love that fairy, but for a completely different reason. Oh my gosh, look at that faith plummet, dude. Zune knew what he was doing when designing this stage. He knew, yes, I shall make it the end of the stage really long so the player has to watch their faith get drained. Well, they sit by and they can't do a thing about it. Whoop, divining they crop. Fuck, that was kind of lucky. Don't forget to kiss your Kaneko. Mwah. Did you on SA? Well, it was the second game I went to go grind an LNN in, so I put that game pretty high. I rate that game pretty highly. Oops, I don't like going that direction. Subterranean animism is peak Touhou if you ignore the non-peak parts. Then it is peak. If you look at, like, Cat's Walk, that's peak. You piece of poop. If you look at, like, Peter Flare, that's peak. Sub-Sun, yep. No, not peak. Sub-Sun, not peak. UNR is pretty damn good. Sub-Sun, Fog Labyrinth, Mount Uwu, love Mount Uwu. I mean, I usually say it's like SA might be like my second or third favorite Touhou game, so. Ooh, I moved way too much. Whatever, run's a run. Okay, good run. Do another one that's in a sec. Okay, again. Whee! This time for sure. Hello again, Miniriko. Ooh, that was bad. Damn it, I had good faith generation on our first two attacks, so that was a bad cancel on that last one. Still, 233 is a little bit higher than I usually get here. System, the continuous system 10 through 12. So I hate that continuous system so much. Or I should specify I hated it so much. It wasn't the best faith generation, so I only ended up at like 400 flat here. Like, I see what he was going for with it, but the thing is like nowadays I don't really care about continuous systems. I'm not, like, using them for anything. But during my 1cc practice, I really disliked 10 through 12's continuous system for grinding 1cc's. It's just like pregnant, yeah. Second order for a while. 10 and 11, I had a bit of stickage issues. It was really 12. It was really UFO that made me weak. Like, I dislike the continuous system in Mountain Faith and Subterranean, but UFO is really what made me hate that system. I mean, you can always just use the prac to unlock practice, but, like, what if you're not doing that? Or what if you just want to, like, play through the run? Like, regardless of, like, unlocking practice stages, it's like... one of the biggest ways I chart that, like, early learning is good, or the early, like, being a new player and liking early progression is, like, in PCB, for example, it's like, okay, you know, if I'm new to the game and I'm, like, wiping by stage 3, I can continue and then just keep learning it like that. Like that. Yeah, but you like Reimu C subterranean animism, so yeah. Like, I would almost argue that for, like, higher level practicing, it's good. It's better. But for, like, normal 1cc purposes, if you're not using the prac, even then I disagree that it's better. And if you are using the prac, there's, like, no world I can agree that's better. Like, again, I don't really care too much about it right now, since, like, I'm not using continue systems in any of the games, but... that's just too cool, you know? Yeah, point device mode. Yeah, but it's literally identical to stage practice. That's the problem. Like, you can just pop it up in stage practice and you have the same fucking thing. Literally tat for tat. Unless it may be in, like, UFO, it will keep your UFOs you have. You know, in a world without Thaprak, Copium. But that also seems, like, incredibly niche. Realize, yeah. Like I said, I think for, like, lunatic purposes, especially, like, LNDs and LNNs, like, it's fine. Especially, like, you know, in a world... wow, that was tight. You know, in a world without the prac, I can, like, see it to a degree, but... I think specifically for normal one... and that's the thing about continues. Like, the most likely... the people who most likely to, like, need and want to use continues are, like, normal 1cc players. And to them, I feel like it's just even worse. Like, that's where I think that this continue method is bad. Is the people who need continues the most. Like, do I feel bad for Alan 10 years ago when he was still probably trying to do bottom hug, no focus, caps, but without the prac, he had to use, continues? No, not really. In fact, he probably deserved it. LNCC, yeah. Like I said, that was the one that really, like, Touhou 10 and 11, I did not, I very much disliked the continue system, and trying to get used to the whole new method was bad, but UFO really grinded my gears in that regard. Oh, what do you mean? I'm supposed to, like, with Byakurin, just, like, beat her with, like, extremely limited resources? Ooh, oh, yeah, of course. You know, should you want to, like, practice that, like, game? Oh, that's crazy, huh? God forbid you want to go take a pee break and get dinner, and you come back and oops, you went back to the main menu. Gotta grind all the way back up too there. Practice mode, yeah. Or you could be like the doesn't. I know 8 does. Doesn't 16? Does 16 have built-in stage practice? I feel like I can't remember for sure if it does or not. Not stage practice, spell practice. I know 8 has its, you know, own spell practice. Zoom was like, ooh, this is a really good mechanic. Let's remove this for, like, the later games. But I feel like 16 has that. I can't remember for show. See, I think the best method is PC98, where you gotta create save states at the start of each stage and each boss, each attack you want to grind to learn. The save state meta for learning. Not the snail. Can you believe that the snail led to the death of 6 billion people? Fuck me. Don't actually, I'm not in the mood. 5 and 6. I like all the stage themes generally in this game. One's like whatever. The others I generally all really like. 5 is probably my favorite though. Eek. Just die? Thank you. Ever get a Olympic one to say, hey, you can get one, all you gotta do is put a lot of time and effort into it. Because for lunatics, that is 100% true. Although every time I say that, people like would put a question mark, like, "What does that mean? That doesn't make sense." Even and what you should always do is you should make fun of people who can only do normal 1ccs. They are cowards. They are losers. That's how this works, by the way. No. I will never promote LNNs for people. Senpai, if you call me Senpai one more time, I'm gonna ban you. I think it kind of depends a little bit on the game of like the ramping and difficulty. Like I'm all out here, like I'm all gung ho on LNN grinding. I will say this, like 99% of people should not grind LNNs. Fuck, that was... And not because they're not good enough, but like... Most people will not enjoy that experience. It takes a certain type of person with certain goals and a certain work ethic, I'd say. And enough patience to, like, be like, oh yeah, you know, maybe fuck my ass. To say LNN, it could be up for them. And I don't think most I think most people, you know, get them in deep enough and they'll learn to hate it. So I think it's a very specific group of people. Yes, and talk about eggs. So true though. Dude, it's literally the easiest attack in the game, Alan. I don't know why people say it's so hard. Also, it's just the worst idea. Yeah. Like, you really have to, like... Because this is the thing. You have to want the goal. Most players don't have. Well, it's a learning skill. Like dodging Peerless Wind God there. It's like, I can do that fairly well sometimes. But, like, I've also been playing Touhou a lot for, like, 6 years at this point. And, like, actually, a little over, probably just over 6 years at this point. And, like,
you know, I used to die to demarcation at like a 90% rate on normal. And now I can cap Peerless Wind God at like a over 33% rate. But like, that's also just because like I put the time and energy into fucking getting good at this. The same thing as good people in like anything, right? It's just like, you know, a lot of people can make something look good or look easy, when in reality, a lot of it's just they just, you know. You know, there's a saying I like to say, which is, or I've said before, I really like, which is, you can be the best at anything, literally anything, realistically speaking, as long as you're willing to put more time into it than literally anyone else. Like, you ever see good sports players, good speedrunners, good League players? Good League of Legends, everyone's favorite. It's like the best of the best in their respective categories. They just, generally speaking, they have more time into it than like anyone else. That does downplay a lot of the nuance of like getting good at things, obviously, but like, it's the most basic of basic things of how you get good, and that's the thing. It's not for everyone. Right? I take Touhou fairly seriously. A lot of people will lose their love of Touhou if they do that. You know, I was a little weird. I got, like, one of the reasons I got into Touhou as a whole was to grind LNNs. And I'm fortunate enough to enjoy it enough. Hey, talent. Here's the thing. I think talent is one of the most overhyped things in the world. I like sports. I watch football, American football. I watch American college basketball. I don't watch the NBA. Fuck the NBA. I watch the Masters for golf so that's once a year. I'm not a big sports guy, but I do pay attention. I do enjoy me some sports. I'm not one of those online nerds who's like, sports suck. These are fucking for losers. I hate the talent argument for two reasons. There's two reasons that I really don't like the talent argument. And that is, A, I feel like people use it as a way to almost degrade themselves. Because, like, a lot of people are, due to aspects of their upbringing and just some of their personality, they're more prone to like and dislike certain things. And things that you like more. Yeah, that was really bad. I had the, like, cut and then but, like, there was the really narrow bullet and I just wasn't prepared for it. And so, like, some people are, like, more willing and learn kind of easier. I think just because they're, like, more predisposed to it. Some people have more of a want to be better at something and just have, you know, people call it a knack for it. At times, you know, talent per se. It's like people in school who are like good at math and like suck at like different, like they like suck at fucking English, but they love math, or like vice versa. A lot of that is just, I think, just personality, if anything. And also, I hate the talent argument because I feel like it really degrades the effort people put in to get good at, to people who are good at things. games you enjoy. Yeah, but like the difference is, it's like, are you playing some fighting games with the intention of like trying to be the best, or you just play them because you have fun, like kicking around against CPUs or against your friends or something, or like online lobbies, right? Because there's also a difference in like playing with intention, right? This is a big thing. That was really sweet. Yeah. Like, I used to play Smash all the time with my friends when we had our Smash craze. But like, none of, like, we were all like, we all wanted to win. We all like were serious against each other. None of us like took Smash that seriously. Where am I over there? This is not the part of the stage that I think it is. And so, like, some of us got, like, pretty solid, but, like, you know, we weren't there with the intention of trying to, you know, trying to be the... There's a line. Trying to be the best you can be at it. Not necessarily the best in the world. I think that's a push. Trying to be better than other people. But it's like, trying to be the best you can be at something, right? It's trying to push yourself to the next level. Effectively, yeah, it's a solid theme. I don't love it. It's not like my favorite, but it does its job. It's pretty good. But Touhou music is always generally pretty damn good. Yeah, but where does some of that come from, right? Like, you could say talent, and, like, I think there's, like, a world where it depends on your definition of talent. There's truth to that, right? I am an incredibly stubborn and spiteful person. And I lead this to some of the big reasons why... You piece of shit. Why I can be good at grinding Touhou. I don't know exactly what you're referring to in that regard, because I've heard, because like, you say that, I don't know if you mean that in a good way or a bad way, because I've heard Touhou fans say both. Oh, you rat. This context. Yeah, but a second question is, how much of this is like, some of it's innate personality, in some regard. So is that talent, per se? But also, a lot of that is just, like, how I was raised, and, you know, the environment I grew up in. Like, I'll toot my own horn a little bit, but, like, I've always considered myself someone with a lot of work ethic. Don't forget to kiss your Kaneko. And I think that does help go a long way for some things like this. And a large part of that, I determine, is just how I was raised, to a degree. Like, I think some of it comes down to my personality extenuates some things. But prior to Touhou, it's like I've grinded some things, and I've gotten good at some things, but like I never... Oops. Oops. I never grinded anything like Touhou for a long time. And I wanted to get into something like this, but I never did. And eventually I was like, I'm gonna fucking try for this. On a whim, on a fucking complete whim. I didn't know really anything about Touhou before I started playing it. I was not part of the fandom. I never like engaged in fanworks at that point, really. I was introduced to it via the music, then I saw the gameplay, and I was like, I want to do that. I was like, I'm gonna try to commit myself to this. First time I've like committed to something to this degree. As a hard game series. Have you ever played Dark Souls, though, Alan? Daisy, take a break. Well, this is the thing. There are a lot of people who grind LNNs who take like, notable breaks, like, regularly. I don't do that. And, like, one of the biggest reasons, like, of how I push the grind to is, like, streaming. Make it bad. No. You have to take games seriously, Alan. You're not allowed to have fun. You know this. This guy while gorillaing everything. No, that is the right mindset. But then what's the point what's the point of effort then? Oop. Kaguro, yeah. Real men, full gorilla Kaguro LNN. Like, I can believe in some of the nature argument, but, like, a real question comes down to, then, what is your concept on the idea of free will? Certainly not an early fairy on that one. See when it comes to PvP. like, you can look to personality as a very genetically coded thing. And there's a lot of reason to believe in things like that. And I think it's important to get a realistic, like, view of yourself for the sake of engaging in the world. But are you also going to sit there and say everyone who's born to be successful was just, you know, destined to be, and vice versa the other way? That seems like a very that seems like an extraordinarily what's the term? I want to say pessimistic, but that's not quite. Nihilistic way to view the world, almost. Let's go here. Yeah, I do believe people are more predisposed to certain things than others. However, an issue I see and that I feel is that too many people will rush to classifying themselves out of a list before they actually are. Mostly. Well, to be fair, one issue with PvP, it's not an issue per se, but one thing about, like, you know, competing against other people is it takes a lot more of a like a cutthroat mindset. Like, because, like, you can kind of have a mindset similar to this in Touhou if you want to, like, look at, like, this rankings list and such. But there's really, you know, there's a difference between, like, grinding to be the best you can be and grinding to be better than others. And that's kind of the difference between PvE and versus PvP. You know, if you're competing in sports, it's like, there's an aspect of cutthroat that you have to have. In any aspect of life where you, like, you're at, you know, there's other people around, it's like the people with the most cutthroat attitude helps push into the top. Like, some people don't have some people just don't have that in them. I guess the second question I should ask here is, what's the point? Not like what's the point of life. That's not what I'm getting at. But, like, what's the point of where you're trying to go, though? Like, I can enjoy some philosophy from time to time, but... Yeah. I have that feeling at times. I attribute some of that to just to spite, almost, at times. This is one of the nice things about, like, artistry and music and in content creation to a degree, and like in circles like this, where you don't have to have because otherwise, if you get rid of a lot of those aspects of life, you really are left with just the competition versus other people. The good paces. I've had a few okay runs. I've had 2 paces. No. I had a pace to Luigi and a pace to Aya. Some solid runs. Runs are runs, you know. I've been good against Exile Doll, which is what matters. And so I like, especially in the modern world, although stuff like this has existed throughout human history, because like, I think with stuff like online, like here, it helps reward people who are not necessarily just in the, the cutthroat realm. There are other ways to succeed without directly beating people. Because, I hate when I'm, like, trying to grind something with other people and I have to, like, beat them off the list, right? The Yukari MV. Music video on this. Peculiar. I mean, you'll find anything in the Touhou scene, so I guess I'm not really surprised. Talking about Katsuki records. Oh! I don't have their, like, 2 newest albums, unfortunately. I should have ordered them at some point, but I've kind of been lazy about it. But I have all the rest of their shit. Like, actual album, like, art albums in person. I'm a big Katsuki Records fan. Katsuki Records and Undead Corp. Favorite Touhou groups. Faux show. I think the most dangerous thing you can do, though, is... See? Trolling is a good way to have fun. That's the way I look at trolling. Like, it's fun, you know, every hour or two, poking at Alan and about his, you know, bottom hug, no focus timeouts. Projection. Yeah, but there's a difficult line of figuring out what's projection and what's not. It's a funny challenge. Yeah, and I like the... And I think it's funny that you know... you sometimes do some of these really stupid things. And so I have fun pointing it out. And I also know that even if I make fun of it, you know, I know you don't take it... I know you're not going to take me making fun of it too seriously. Shadow. Although I do ultimately kind of agree with you, I also think you are overvaluing people's intentions. It's a little too much at times. IQ, even with ChatGPT, so true. Jarvis, what's the meaning of life? Anime titties? Got it. Jarvis, draw me anime titties. Yeah, I've seen both. Just such a group-to-group, person-to-person, situation-to-situation. People overuse and underuse things, respectively. I think it's about the intent behind, you know, using it. If you want to look into Jung's shadow, that's what I'd argue is just philosophy. You know, it's just a lot of philosophical things. It can be an interesting read, but you have to kind of, you know, be in the mood or enjoy that type of thing. I know a bit about Jung's stuff, but I've never actually like read too deeply in it myself. I've only heard people talk about it. Would you give her massive hunkers? Yes. Ooh, a hitbox moment. Don't bumper me. Yo, on runs today, I have a better rate against Fearless Wind God than Bumper Crop. I think this says something. I'm telling you, Alan. Fearless Wind God's free, dude. You can read okay, well and shit. Laugh at it. Well, Okina's not real, so it'd be Zune making it because you know, Touhou isn't actually like a real thing. It's made by a person, so Okina can't actually do anything on her own. It's all under Zune's control. Chat tonight. That's fine. I mean, how dare you not chat, Domingos? I can't believe you. I appreciate the high anyway. As much as I like active conversation, you know, I just generally appreciate people watching anyway. Yeah, right for yeah. Active conversations, yeah. Or description of lunacy cards. It's something stable on the card. Oh, that's cool. You made it mod progress. Listen, one step at a time. That's how you do anything in life. One step at a time. Shadow Shall you please bad. No face. Temperature, yeah, exactly. If I see positive banter about Koishi's heart-throbbing adventure in this chat, that's not ironic. You know, that's immediate. Immediate pin him down and testicular torsion. Hey, I actually said it without struggling to say it for once. I normally struggle with that, saying that. I'll love over myself too much. Do better, obviously. There's obviously there's a difference between doing something bad with good intentions versus with bad intentions. It is important to segment that. Being critical of the end result, but you know, also understanding the build up to it. But you have a good one. Yeah, became set of power scalers. I hate both, so I hate you. No, you don't understand game glitcher. In this very panel in the comic, the power actually is implied to be a lot stronger. This is why I think Deku could solo Goku. Okay. It's been almost 2 hours on the day. With no proof, yeah. Actually? With dementia? Ooh, good question. Could 100 men beat a gorilla? What is it? Isn't that the one? I think all debate should come down to epic rap battles of history level of conversation. Right there, no, but game glitcher. In this random panel of this some part in the manga, Deku's power can be implied to be like far greater than Goku's could ever hit. And with the gorillas, oh. I don't know, dude. You put 100 guys against a gorilla. You tell me a fucking 100 couldn't beat them? Yeah, he has dementia. Who? Goku or the gorilla? Goku with Alzheimer's, never forget. Okay, but who would win though, guys? 100 fighting game players or one bottle of shampoo? One stick of deodorant. Who would win? One bar of soap. That's a hitbox moment. With no limbs, no ears, no eyes. Yeah, he's like he's blind, deaf. I don't know. Probably his tongue ripped out. Probably has like stage 4 cancer, something like that. GG, so true. Who would win? 100 Blue Archive players or the Age of Consent? I'm not gonna apologize for that one. That was good. That was good. Is that no div? Yeah. My thoughts exactly. Blue Archive or Genshin Impact players? Blue Archive. Don't get me wrong. I probably hate Genshin more as a game, but I'm just saying. I hate this attack. Player enters the ring, yeah. Off the top rope! Oh! Reminds me of a meme I found the other day. I'm not gonna put it in the Discord as it contains some, questionable words. I'm not gonna put my name under, but the video where it's like, oh, here's some YouTuber I used to watch. Let's see what he's up to, and then it's just, you have been accused of 40 degrees of assault. or like 40 cases of assault, 28 cases of theft, and just a massive log list. Yes, Tori's water enema. It's like 50-50. Okay, chat, confession time. Anyone in here ever had an enema? Purpose or by accident? What do you mean by that? I was gonna answer no, I've never had an enema. It's language. What you mean by Fama's text, or just by Fama's name of Ass Princess Meltdown? I still won't get over that. It's okay, we don't need any nutty paces today. As long as I'm getting paces past stage 3, which I am, that's what matters. Booty juice. There are a lot of really good names on the market. Some people will get some really good ones. There's one I saw really recently. Not popping up on my recent activity feed though, so I can't think of it off my head. Oh, it was. Oh, I can't remember the name. I can't remember exactly the name. There was someone in here a handful of days ago, or like a handful of days, like a week ago or something. That was Twitch, don't ban me for this one. It was like Sunny's funny cunny milk or something. It was something along that line. I forget the exact. It was 3 unnies. I know 2 of those words, and then milk. I can't remember the exact thing. I was like, huh, that is a name. Like, one of my favorites is I see someone who is like with a bunch of numbers at the end. Not in my chat, but like I've seen this before. Is statutory crepe. That's not one I've seen on Twitch. I've seen that one on Discord though, and their profile picture is just a crepe. It was a good ride. It was a good ride. Have a good one, Fama. I will be moving on past this momentarily. I'm running out of juice. Mountain of juice. The Game Glitcher, what do you I don't know if you gave comments on it before. What are your thoughts on the well, what are your thoughts on the Chen egg conversation? Let's see this one. Come on, bro. What's the point of a conversation if it doesn't go 2 ways? Come on, if I want to get a real run going, I gotta get talking about something. We know that's how it works. Yeah, but if I'm gonna get something on this final run of the day. What about Chen eggs? Well, the question is, under the line, where the cat yokai lay eggs? Because like cats have litter. So a big question here is, would the cat lay one giant egg, or would it lay multiple eggs? Supposedly has good effects. We try layer. I've tried that before with Momiji, and it's worked to. I did that a lot with Orin. I remember I did that a fair bit with Orin. Is you try complimenting them a lot. And Brother Turtle. No, I personally have my headcanon is the giant egg. We had this conversation before, and I believe with the giant egg, but I'm interested as a whole. Wouldn't trust her. I don't trust her either. She's pretty cute though, so like, so that like is genuine. When I call her cute, it is pretty genuine, but like. What about Notori? Can I compliment Notori? She seems. She's not kiwi. Yeah, she's not a fruit. Like, I don't know. Like fruits aren't laying eggs. Hello? You know, I really should have a hand cam, but like for both hands in the middle of my runs. Like one for the keyboards, you know, for see that so people can make fun of my technique. But also for my left hand, so people can see how many times I A, press caps lock, and B, like just like rub my fingers over the bomb button. That happens too much during breaks. I just like move my pointer finger, which is on the Z key, just like put it on top of the X key, and just kind of like rub along the top of the key, and then take it off. I flirt with that so much. There are a number of times where I've been like, how did I not accidentally press the bomb button? Uh-oh, Binky. That was really close. That was not great. I kind of have to pee. It's like lingering. But it's there. Whenever I'm done with this run, I'll load a puppet, then I gotta pee. Nice. Sick waterfall. Kick mimes opening to like, would she say my balls? Ooh, good question. I'll have to ask Zune about that one. So we asked you before about like how smelly certain Touhou characters are, how much they smell. Could you give me an opinion on Mamizo's balls? Played the check. I don't know. I played through it. They talked about balls a lot in Urban Legend. Like they're always like everyone's always looking for each other's balls, but I don't remember Mamizo ever getting hit directly in the balls. Though, it has been a hot minute since I played through Urban Legends, so, maybe I'm forgetting something. Stage 4. My beloved. Stage of hopes and dreams and everything else. I should not go up there for all that score, but I did. Why? Because I'm not a coward. Legend and balls. Good one. Urban Legend and D's nuts. Hello, Mamichi. Do you know that you are the cutest Tengu? That is something I will not deny. I have an itch on top of my head. Ooh, that's not good. Sick. Fucked my ass, bro. That was way too tight for my taste. I love Megumi. She's probably my favorite of the Tengus. But she's not the cutest. Like, let's be real here. Like, on the scale of, like, cute to hot, if we're gonna use, like, that scale, it's like, I would say Momiji falls closer on the cute category, with Megumu falling closer to the hot on the category. That's where I think that's important. And here we got I've really grown up to you, Aya, you know? I used to be iffy on you, but, like, I've grown to really enjoy Aya. Aya's a very entertaining character. Also, Wind God Girl short version is, like, probably the best or second best Touhou theme in Touhou, so, come at me, bro. I got swarmed. I couldn't figure out how I wanted to get through that one. I'll do Heroes Wind God still on here, but... Compliment Yokai Mountain. Fuck Yokai Mountain. That game, is that true? Because he made the full. When did the full version of Wind God Girl come out? What year was the CD? Because I know he has that on a CD somewhere. I've never heard that version. When did that, like, come out? That CD. With Kaneko, dude, I would redact it with Kaneko if you know what I'm saying. Dude, I swear, Alan, it's the easiest attack in the entire series. It's unbelievable. 3-0 on runs. Like, how can you deny this? Here's Wind God's literally free.